We're making a beef and mushroom stir fry, and this is one of those dishes where the prep time takes longer than the cooking, and it's great because you can use up leftovers or add a whole wide range of different ingredients. Serve it with rice, noodles, or leave it plain and simple. And before we jump in, make sure you hit that like button. It allows the channel to be seen by more people and really helps me out.
Starting this off, depending on the size of your onions, we need 1 or 2 brown or yellow onions. Slice off both ends, slice it in half, peel it, you know the drill. Then we're going to slice this the whole way across, and it's better to have thicker slices for this, but you can slice it thin if you wanted to. Here I have 4 cloves of garlic. Use the side of your knife to push down and crush to activate the allicin compound. Then roughly chop into small to medium sized pieces. You can also slice it or grate it, but roughly chopping it is going to be the best way to cook it, as it won't burn as fast as sliced or grated. Along with the garlic, we also need some ginger. This weighs 10 grams, roughly about 1.5 inches in size. Use a spoon to peel it. It's the most efficient way to reduce waste. Then we can slice this into thin strips. Stack those strips up nice and neatly, and then slice this into those matchstick cuts, also known as julienne, and what you should have is something that looks like this. Now for the mushrooms, I've got Swiss brown on the left and shiitake on the right. This is a combination of both weighing 300 grams or 10.5 ounces. All we need to do is slice these into thick slices. You can slice them thinner, but the thicker slices are better for this stir fry. Next is 3 to 4 spring onions or scallions depending on size. Slice the white root into large pieces up to the green stem. And with the green stem, thinly slice this the whole way across. We're going to use this as a garnish so we can put this in the fridge until we're ready to serve. Now for the meat, I'm using 400 grams or 14 ounces of porterhouse steaks, also known as sirloin, but you can use rump, flank, or even eye fillet. I did intentionally buy a cheaper cut on purpose. This isn't the greatest quality steak, but I wanted to show you that you can do this on a budget and make this extremely tasty in the first place. So what I'm doing here is just trimming off that fat cap because there is a massive line of sinew through it, and we don't want that in our stir fry, so I'm just removing all of that. Once you're happy with it, there's no silver skin, sinew, or excess fat. Slice it across the grain to break up the muscle fibers. Make it as thin and as consistent as possible. If they're too thick, they'll take a lot longer to cook, and if they're inconsistent, some will be cooked a lot quicker than the others. And you should have something that looks like this. That can then be placed into a mixing bowl. To help tenderize the beef, add 2 tablespoons of low sodium soy sauce, 2 teaspoons of corn flour or cornstarch, half a teaspoon of bicarb soda or bicarbonate of soda, not baking soda, and ground white pepper to taste. Then get in there with your hands and mix this all together until it's nicely coated. Also, I don't add any extra salt, only due to the sodium that's in the soy sauce already. Now to make our stir fry sauce, add 2.5 tablespoons of oyster sauce to a bowl, 1 teaspoon of black soy sauce, I'll leave details about that in the description, 2 tablespoons of low sodium soy sauce, 1 teaspoon of sugar, 1 teaspoon of rice wine vinegar, and ground white pepper to taste. Then get in there with a whisk, mix it all together, make sure it's combined, and set this aside for the time being. Now with all the prep out of the way, which didn't take long at all, place a wok over a high heat. Once you start seeing it lightly smoke, add in 1.5 tablespoons of vegetable oil or peanut oil or any neutral flavored oil. Add in the beef along with any marinade, spread it out a little bit and let it sit for about 30 seconds to build a crust and a little bit of colour. Then start stir frying this, and we're going to cook this for about 2 to 3 minutes until it's no longer pink. We want that nice brown colour all over, which the corn flour or starch is going to help achieve, and the bicarb soda is going to keep this nice and tender. Once that's done, add in the sliced onions along with the garlic and the ginger. Mix this all through, continue stir frying for about 1 minute to 1.5 minutes. Make sure you keep it mixing though so that garlic or ginger doesn't burn on the bottom of the wok. And we want to get this nice and fragrant, which is what we're looking for right now. Next to go in is all of the mushrooms. Continue stir frying again. This time we're going to cook for about 2 to 3 minutes. The mushrooms are going to absorb a lot of moisture, so this might look a little bit dry, but then that water retention starts leaking out. That's going to then reduce and create a really nice nutty flavour, as well as that smokiness from the wok. And what we're looking for on the mushrooms is for a little bit of firmness, but not completely falling apart. At this stage, add in all of that stir fry sauce. Make sure you scrape the bowl because we want all of that good stuff in there, and add in the white stem of the spring onion or scallion. All we need to do now is continue mixing this around, stir fry it for 1 minute. That sauce is going to thicken up, glaze everything really well. Those spring onions or scallions are going to stay al dente but soften very slightly. Just creates the perfect texture and a really flavoursome sauce. Once that's done though, remove it from the stovetop and then serve this up in bowls, plates. Serve it with whatever you want, like rice, noodles, or you can just keep it plain and simple like what I'm doing. Garnish it with spring onion or scallion, and this recipe will serve anywhere between 2 to 3 people. And what we've just created is this beef and mushroom stir fry. It's incredibly tasty and smells incredible.
As always though, there's only one thing left to do, and that is of course we can then dig in. The thing I love most about this type of dish is that the vegetables still have a little bit of a bite to them, just adds that nice textural effect. The beef's extremely tender from that corn flour and the bicarb soda, and then the sauce just brings it all together. It's not over the top, just balanced really, really well. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like button and consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.